Hello. Welcome back to another CNC project video with Legacy Woodworking Machinery. Now, over the past number of videos, we are producing all the parts and sub-assemblies for the lower cabinet section of the Convertible China Hutch project. And so today we're actually going to start bringing those together to see if all of this pays off. Now, the first thing we have to do though is I still need to produce the bottom and back panel, and then we're going to bring everything together to see if the planning, machining, joinery actually fits. So let's go get started. The first panel to machine is the back panel for the lower cabinet. This sheet is simply too large to use the low pro clamps on the horizontal table fixture. Rather than forcing a complicated setup, I went back to one of the simplest fixture methods available: a spoil board with a vacuum hold down and a few strategically placed screws. To make this possible, I oversized the blank so the screws stayed well outside the finished part. That allowed me to machine the entire panel without worrying about hitting hardware while still keeping everything securely in place. Sometimes the best fixture isn't the fanciest one, it's simply one that safely holds the material so you can make accurate parts. The machine starts by cutting the dado that will receive the bottom panel during assembly. After that, it profiles the outside of the part using the same cutting strategies that has been working throughout this project, keeping everything consistent from one component to the next. Since every edge of this panel will eventually be hidden inside rabbets and dados, I chose not to use 3D tabs on this operation. The part remains well supported throughout the cut, and once it's free, any tiny amount of movement won't affect the finished cabinet. Understanding where precision actually matters lets you simplify the machining process without sacrificing quality. Next up is the bottom panel. This operation is even more straightforward, simply profiling the part from 3/4 inch plywood using the same proven cutting strategy. Keeping things consistent means fewer setup changes and more predictable results. With both panels complete, we now have every major component needed to build the lower cabinet. And now comes the real test. Before opening a bottle of glue, Tracy and I performed a complete dry fit of the cabinet. It's tempting to skip this step, but a dry run lets you work through the assembly sequence, verify that every part fits properly, and make sure everyone knows exactly what comes next. Since glue has a limited open time, that's not when you want to be figuring out which clamp to grab or wondering which part to install next. By rehearsing the process beforehand, the actual glue up becomes much smoother and far less stressful. After the dry fit, we settled on an assembly sequence that lets gravity work for us instead of against us. We start by clamping the left face frame securely to the assembly table, creating a solid foundation that couldn't tip or shift during the rest of the glue up. From there, we attach the front face frame. Whenever I was gluing horizontal faces, I used standard Titebond glue. On the vertical joints, I switched to Titebond Quick and Thick because it stays where you put it instead of running down the workpiece. Next came the bottom panel. The joinery fit exactly the way we hoped. In fact, it fit tightly enough that it took a few gentle taps with a mallet to fully seat everything into position. That's exactly the kind of fit you're looking for from accurately machined joinery. The back panel came next, locking into both the bottom panel and the left face frame through matching dados. Finally, the right face frame completed the assembly, tying the entire cabinet together. Throughout the process, I focused on two things. First, making sure the ends of every face frame stayed perfectly flush. Second, making sure every rabbet and dado closed completely without leaving gaps. And even if a board has a slight bow or twist, pulling those joints together allows the assembly itself to establish the final alignment. At this point, the cabinet was fully assembled. There's something incredibly satisfying about reaching this stage of a project. For the first time, all of those individual parts stop feeling like separate components and start looking like a real piece of furniture. But there is still one final check before the glue begins to cure. Just because everything fits together doesn't automatically mean the cabinet is square. We rotated the cabinet so the bottom faced upward and measured diagonally from corner to corner. It was off by roughly 1/16 of an inch. That's an easy correction while the glue is still wet. Using corner blocks and a parallel clamp, we gently pulled the cabinet back into square and left it clamped while the glue dried. It's a simple step that's easy to overlook, but it's one that makes a huge difference in the finished project. This episode marks an important milestone in the project. For the past several videos, we've been focusing on making individual parts. Today, those parts finally became a cabinet. And that's really the point where all the machining starts proving itself. The true measure of CNC accuracy isn't when the machine finishes cutting. It's when every part comes together into an assembly. Fortunately, everything fit just the way we hoped. I'd love to hear from you. When you're assembling cabinets or box structures like this, what is your preferred glue-up strategy? Do you actually do a dry fit like I did at the beginning, or have you developed another process that works really well? Please let me know in the comments below. Now, this next part may not be for you, but we do have project plans available on Legacy's website at legacywoodworking.com/projects. And we'll leave the link in the video description below. If you're enjoying watching this project transform from individual components to being assembled as a fully finished project, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the next videos for this project. Now, speaking of the next video, we're going to be moving upwards. Now that we've finished the lower box, we're going to leave the details such as the doors and the convertible table for later videos. We're going to now move up to the upper cabinet box so we can build the entire structure for this China hutch. It's going to be awesome and bring us that much closer to a finished project. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in that next video.